Hello everybody, got another 1,000 old pre-decimal pennies to hunt through. Should be 1,000 in there, we'll have a look at it in a minute. There's my board, all blank. So as usual, everything I find and put on this board will be given away. Okay, let's go. I'm going to find a knife. Okay. It's Christmas Eve today, I'm in my garage and it's freezing. Never mind, I'm used to it now. Right, remove the evidence. What's packing this time? Well, it looks like they're all loose this time. All loose. Oh, shame. There's a jersey one straight away. Anyway, I don't want to look too much. What's this? Another jersey. Victoria's. Oh, no, let's cover it up and start again. Right, I don't really mean to start again, do I? Get that out of the way. I don't really want to see. I was hoping it was going to be in a bag again, but then I can grab a handful like that. Because I like to see what I'm getting the same time as you do. So, right, let's begin. First, we'll have a look at the albums that I'm filling up. This is 1930 to 1966, it says on the front, even though we've got a 67. There's no 67s in this box of pennies. 1,000 pennies there, no 67s, which is brilliant. What I'll be doing, I'll be upgrading, and I'm obviously looking for the 1951 to fill this book, and anything I get that's an upgrade will go in there. Next one, 1902 to 1929. Again, I think it's mostly upgrades we're looking for here. Yeah, mostly upgrades, otherwise that's full. The 1881 to 1901 here. All falling out there. That's full again, just looking for upgrades on that one. And the 1860 to 1880. Now, lots missing here. And let me show you. We've got things like round bead, tooth beads, LCY on the obverse, that's the designer. The trouble is LCY on the verse on that one as well, the 1861. The problem is they have to be in really good condition to be able to spot that. Still need an 1868. 1869 I've got. Dan sent me that. Thank you very much, Dan. But it says 2,580,000. That's completely wrong. It's much less than that. That figure is how many were made that year. But they made a lot in that year, but didn't date them 1869. So it's very, very scarce. Nobody really knows the exact number. Then we want some 1874s. There's 4 different ones. There's a young head, an aged head, and an H mint mark and a no mint mark. So there's 4 different ones to find of that. Let's grab a handful then and get on with it. Okay, zoom in a little bit. First one is a 1965. We've got a shiny jersey here. Bit of a mark there though. 1066 to 1966. That's to celebrate 900 years since the Battle of Hastings. There's a 61. 1935. Here's a George V. 1927. A 1962. 1939. There's a first young head Victoria. And it is 1880 something. Is that going to be the first one we can't even read the date on? Could that be a 4? I think it's 1884. I'll put it on the 1884 for now. We'll change it if we get a better one. Okay, we've got a 1920 and a 1929. So let's get those in position. Right, it's got those all in place. Grab some more. Here we have a George VI, 1938. 1915, looking for a broken tooth variety. I'll put all these links below and you can go and have a look for yourself what I mean by this. But no broken tooth on that one. You can see the colon to the right of the Brit, the word Brit. If you follow that colon up, one of the beads that it's aiming at will be broken, and this is not. This is a good condition one. I've got some 1916 versions, but I've never found a 1915 yet. There's a 1936, 1947, a 1914, 1918, we're looking for mint marks on the 1918, H for Heaton, and KN for Kings Norton. Another 1914, 1945, and 1965. Some of these are repeating themselves already. Okay, there is a George V, 1918, but again, no mint mark on that one. 1964, the Younghead Victoria, and that is an 1876 with the H mint mark in the middle there at the bottom. They've all got the H mint mark on. 1876, not the best condition. We'll have to have a look for a better one. 1921. Oh, 1892, that's not too bad. A few marks that side, but not too bad after all, overall. We'll put that down there. 1899, 1917, 1921, George V. Oh, there's an Irish one. First Irish penny there. Pigan. I can never pronounce that. 1935 as well. It's not bad. That's not bad. That'll go down there. And another 1921. Now, I've just remembered I'm going to have to call this something different. So I'm going to call this 1002 pennies. So I'm going to go over here in a pile of pennies, dig deep, just grab two, bring them back over here and add them in there. Give them a bit of mix up. Now I'm going to call it 1002 pennies. And I'm also going to call it vintage pennies because that's what they are, aren't it? They're vintage pennies. So the thumbnails say 1002 vintage pennies part 1. Right, okay. Let's carry on. Let's grab a few more. That one back there. Okay, George VI to start with. And it's a 1947. Looking for a 1950 or 51 with George VI. 1938. There's a tatty one. 1935. 1900 Victoria. There's a shiny one. 66. That's a shiny 66. No 67s, or so I'm told. We'll soon find out. 1907 there. Edward VII. 1930. And there's another Irish. This time 1928. Was that the other one 1928? No, it was 1935, wasn't it? Oh, there's 1928 as well now. These are all going to be given away. And there's a 1907. So what you've got to do is comment on the videos in this series. I don't know how many there'll be. There'll be less than 12. I'm probably going to make the videos a little bit longer and not so many of them. So there won't be quite as many videos in this series. I can hear Dave from Northeast Coins cheering up north. I can hear him from here, hundreds of miles away. Okay, next lot, another 1914 there. 1963. 1907, that might be slightly better condition than the one we've got. Oh, there's a... Oh, that's a 1900. Oh, that's a really good condition, but dirty. It looks like it could be a metal detector find, doesn't it? 1900. A lot of detail, but probably a bit of corrosion on it as well, which is a shame. I might put that down there. I'll swap it with the one we've got. It's a bit better. There's a 66, but I've already got a better one. What's this? East Africa. 10. East Africa, 1949. 10 cents. 10 cents. George VI. That's what that says, isn't it? Georgius Sextius Rex King. 10 cents. East Africa. I don't remember finding an East African in these hunts before. We might have done, but I don't remember. Don't like coins with holes in them very much. Don't see what the point of that was. Let's compare that with our penny. Get this shiny 66. My theory is why there were so many foreign coins in the country. It's probably when this coin was minted, around about 1949 or so, it would have been certainly worth less than a British penny, so it came into the country. put it in the cigarette machine because it's exactly the same size. Look at that, width and diameter. Exactly the same size, so it was palmed off as a penny. You couldn't hand it over to a shopkeeper, they'd certainly spot that straight away, but you could certainly put it in a vending machine. That's why I think there's so many in the country. Anyway, that's another one to add down there in a minute. What's this? What the hell is this? Oh. That's odd, isn't it? That's a George V. There's a little mark at the top and completely blank on that side. Has that been worn down? Must have been. Very odd, that. Any explanations? Completely blank. There's not even a hint of Britannia on there. Wouldn't have worn down like that naturally, would it? So, what's going on there? There's another Victoria. 1895. 1895, we're looking for a big gap between the trident and the P, and that is a small gap there, 1mm gap. You're looking for the 2mm gap. I made a video on that. I'll put a link in the description so you know what to look for. There's a chunk off that one. 1916. Not even going to bother looking for the broken tooth on that one. And another 1966. Okay, the 07, upgrade straight away for that. That's better condition. And that 1900 is better detail, so I'm going to swap that as well. There we are. Okay, that's got all those down there. Got some building up now. We've got Jersey, Ireland and East Africa down there. Okay, there we have another George V, a 1916. No broken tooth on that one. There's a Victoria, not too bad condition. 1899, we've got an 1899, but that's a bit better, so I'll replace that. 1932, I haven't got one of them yet. There's a 28. Another Victoria, and that's an 1896. 1966. And, come on, I'm focusing very well at the moment. 1904, I haven't got a 1904 yet. Edward the 7th, that is Queen Victoria's son. There's a battered George V, 1920. There's another 64. And what we got here? A 1919, again we're looking for the H and K and mint marks, but there's nothing on that one. So let's swap the 1899, it's a bit better one, and put the others down there. So let me remind you of what's happening here then. All this lot are going to be given away. Angela won the last lot. Well done, Angela. All the videos in this series, so I'm going to call it 1002 Vintage Pennies. I don't know how many there'll be. I'm not sure how many videos there'll be in this series, but comment on them all and I'll pick one at the end at random, and then a comment from that video. I'll pick the comments at random by the YouTube random blah, blah, blah. Shall I leave that in or edit it out? No, I'll leave it in. I'll pick a comment with the YouTube random comment picker, and then the person who I pick who made that comment will win. Oh dear, it's Christmas Eve. I've not had a beer yet either. Right, I've got some in my hand here. I don't think we've looked for these yet, no. Right, there's a 1902. Looking for a low tide with a 1902, and that one you can see the tide level is exactly where Britannia's legs cross. So that is a normal high tide version. Another 1902, right next to it. That's another high tide though. Right, another high tide. Was that an 1866? It is 1866. So we've got, so there's an 1866 and there's a 1966. 100 years difference. See, I'm good at maths. Right, and the next is 1964. There's an 1897. Looking for the dot between the O and the N, a little dot like a full stop. Talking quite a few quid if you find one of those, depending on the condition, but sadly that's not. 1889, we haven't found one of those yet, so that's going down there. 1937. 1946. Oh, look. There's George V. Is that a jersey? It is. So 1945. The liberation of Jersey in 1945. But these weren't minted in 1945. I think they were minted in 1949 and then again in 1951. Very nice coin. I haven't got one of those yet. And last one in this handful is a 1919 again, but no mint mark. So I've just found then a 1902. These are the new ones. An 1866, which is there. What was that then? An 1897. There's another Victoria, wasn't it? What was that? Oh yeah, 1889. And this was the Jersey one, 1945, which can go up there. This first video, it's not going to be too long because, as I say, it's Christmas Eve today and I need to get to bed early because Father Christmas won't come to me if I stay up too late. Let's just do this one more handful then, shall we? There is a George VI, 1938. 1935, George V. And another 1935, George V. Well, there's a shiny one. That's going to be a 66. Hope it's not a 67. It's a 66. I don't know if that's slightly better than the one we've got already. I think it is. I'll swap that. In fact, I'll do that right now. There we go. Put that one in there. Right. There's a George VI, 1946. We're looking for a little mark there with the dot after the E. Like it's shaped like a comma. Like an exclamation. No, not an exclamation mark. Like a little apostrophe type shape thing after the E, but there's not one there anyway, so not a rare one. It's a common 1946. 1921. Oh, Australia. 1952, Australian, George VI. 1952 is probably minted after he died because George VI died in February 1952. They did carry on minting them slightly after that. But that's one for the board, one for the giveaway. There's another 1907, not as good as the one we've got. Yet another 1935. 1964. And there's a Victoria, 1898. Don't think we've got that yet, no. Another young head Victoria. Oh, 1888. 1888, that's definitely one we haven't got yet, so let's get those down there. Right, 1898. That's the Australian one. We'll put that there. 1946. And the 1888. Lovely. So that's it then. That's it for this video. The others will be a bit longer, but as I say, it's Christmas Eve. I'm going to have a few beers, go to bed, wait for Father Christmas, and I'll see you lot in the next one. Have a great Christmas, everybody.